All right. It's funny not to have, is Charlotte here?
I don't see Charlotte yet.
Okay, because I like to check to make sure that
You
you
don't
can
have
at
her
least
running.
hear us. Yeah,
Ah.
yeah. All right, I'd like to begin with our warrants. I'd like to make a motion that we accept payroll number 18 for $2,068.34. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye. I'd like to move that we accept accounts payable number 19 for $13,911.61. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
I'd like to move that we accept accounts payable number 20 for $39,849.47. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
By the way, this 39,000 includes $10,000 for tree cutting. We finally got the trees at the ferry landing cut. I know that's been on our plan for a good long while. I'd like to move that we accept payroll number 21 for $2,098.11. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye. I'd like to move that we accept the minutes for August 25th, 2025 select board meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I'm abstaining because I wasn't there.
Okey dokey.
Hi.
Let me find that. All right, moving right along to citizens issues. We'll actually start with a citizen that we have here, and would you please,
Dave Lenz,
got that? Yep,
Thank you.
and I am the, everybody bow, Vice President of McCarty Cove Homeowners Association. Yeah, like I've got to bow before you guys start, but seriously, we have, as you have probably heard from other people, a fairly serious abuse of land privileges, shall we say. The state of Maine has a policy, their rule is if the land isn't posted, you can hunt on it. However, they heavily encourage people to get permission from the landowner. And Coastside, the two major, we don't own Sortville, but we do own McCarty Cove Road and we own Coastside Road. Hunters will go down there, park either at our common lot or someplace where it's convenient for them along the road, go hunt the properties. The unfortunate part is they're running up and down the road with rifles and shotguns in their vehicles. They're walking by a game camera I had last year going, waving at you.
Wow.
Like, I showed that to my daughter and I says, what do you think that is? Well, her version was, it was basically an explicative that says hi,
Yeah.
But the short story is, what we are attempting to do is to show the people that want to use our land. And we would like to post, we can post a sign on Coastside because we own it. We can post a sign on McCarty Cove because we own it. And we have voted it in as an association to do posting as best we can. However, it would be more prudent if we could post a sign on Sortwell at the head of the road, advising them that there's no hunting down in there without permission of the landowner. It's a basic sign that we're gonna have made up to, and all of the landowners, it still comes down to the landowner themselves has to post their property to have it be really effective. But we would like to at least advise them that these are all private lands. And the landowners don't really want you there if you're just gonna come in and. We've had shootings, we've had Mark Williams's house, Main Road. A couple of guys shot a deer within less than 100, way less than 100 yards from his house.
wow,
Startled him and Wendy, they came out in time to see them throw the deer in the back of the truck and go.
wow.
So, I talked with Jim about it a little bit. And we're both on the same page. We don't want to see posting of our lands. It's a terrible thing to have to do. But if guys are gonna come in and abuse that state of Maine privilege, if you will, is a privilege. And we'd like to at least say, hey, this is what we want to do. And so our request is to be able to put a sign at the head of Sortwell that says, no hunting without permission. And identifies McCarty Cove. We're gonna include the address. I don't think we're gonna include a phone number because I'll probably get deluged. And yes, I do have a game warden on speed dial. I used it a lot last year. So, in fact, pictures I sent her. It's a female game warden, she responds to my information. I sent her pictures of a pickup truck parked at the head of the road. So she had the license number and everything, she said, yeah, that's one of the guys we're kind of looking for. That's, no,
Can I ask you about the sign at Sortwell? If they go down Sortwell, even though that's not,
McCarty Cove goes the entire length. McCarty Cove Road does not start until. And then what used to be Castleman property, I don't know who the owner is now, but that's where the ship chandlery used to be. Way back in the 1800s or so. Then McCarty Cove Road turns off to the right. It's only about a half mile or so
That's
long,
pretty
if
short.
that. But
But
we
that-
own McCarty Cove, but we don't own Slipwell.
Right.
Saltwell's a town road,
right,
but both sides of the road, all the way in Saltwell Road is part of this association.
oh, I see, I see,
So,
okay, that's weird.
well, it used to be a town road because of the chandlery down there. And I
Uh,
remember long before McCarty
Mhm.
Cove Road, that
There
was the
goes
only
down
thing.
roads
that was
again.
there.
Okay.
Does
Yes.
McCarty Cove HOA wanna take it back?
Pardon?
Would you like to take the road back and make it a private road?
So one of the ones we got in good shape now.
Yeah, they got in good shape now.
so I mean, that in that case, the only thing I was gonna say is, well, cause it's not, but if that's the case, then I don't have a problem with
You
it.
know,
I don't either. Are you also gonna sign the property? Per the IF&W thing of every 50 feet or using the purple
Well,
stripes, so.
but yeah, I think it's 100 feet or whatever, but there's two methods now of signing the property, and it's the purple stripe.
Yeah.
Which I only became sort of aware of last year, and when did that start, but it's a nice idea, spray can and you're done. But yes,
I have a question, how does the hunter get permission?
he has to contact the landowner. And the best way is you go up to the door. And knock on the door. It's the best way.
That's the simplest way.
It's the simplest way, to put out all that information, yes.
And, not to interrupt you, and I get
No, go
it,
ahead.
and I think that I appreciate that, I just feel like these guys know. There's very little recourse in the heat of the moment to do much about it, so I feel like yeah, you can post all that and have that, but they're probably.
They know.
Still gonna do what they do, because
Yeah.
they can get away with it.
Well, the other side of that is if the landowner posts his land with at least a purple stripe, and I think it's within 100 feet of each. They've actually relaxed the rules. When I worked for Totem Lodge, I was the director of maintenance. We posted that 200 and some odd acres all the way around, and it was 50 feet between signs. We put up a lot of signs.
It was a lot.
Me and I'm a retired minister, we had fun doing it, but anyways, the point is, if you don't post it. And the guy goes on the property, the game warden will come up to you and say, how you doing, you're hunting, yeah, here's your rifle, check your license.
Right,
The game warden can't really. Really pursue that hunting operation, if you post your property and game warden comes in, and you'll say, this property's posted, do you have a signature? Form with you, there's a form that you and the landowner sign, I've done it out in Pownell with my daughter and I were hunting out there,
okay,
went to the landowner. Signed the paper, and yeah, it's a little cumbersome, it's not easy, and it's not supposed to be easy, it's supposed to be, look them in the eye,
exactly.
exactly.
And I think that's the message that has to get out there, is
Yes.
that there are lots, I've heard this, that there's so much more property that is posted now than ever,
Unfortunately,
right. but that doesn't mean that you cannot hunt there, you just have to go and
Yeah.
get permission.
Yeah.
Some people will probably still say no,
That's their.
if they're,
prerogative.
but that's a prerogative,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean just because it's posted that, and that's what they have to,
You know, I'd be happy to educate people on how to do it. Because there's many ways. There's the go look him in the face, knock on his door. Here's my paper, would you sign this so I can hunt on your property? And if you don't do that, then the game warden, like I said, it comes down to what the game warden can do to help you as a landowner.
Mhm.
And by you signing that paper, the game warden has, oh, okay, you're fine, here, see you later, bye.
as long as your property's posted and you
yeah.
have that paper, the guy's okay, but if it's not, then.
Right, even if the property isn't posted, having that piece of paper is a good thing to have.
Mhm.
Okay.
But the biggest part is people go in and we've had, trouble is we're having too many people, young guys or whatever, coming in and walking past our houses. In fact, the one where the guy waved at me, he either had to walk up Jeff Wheeler's driveway or up mine to go and show himself on that camera, what he did.
Wow.
So, you know, it's just,
And do you think, I know there's no way of knowing, but do you suspect that a lot of these guys are coming from off
I think
island?
it's a combination of off island as well as maybe two,
Cause,
Jim, you know.
cause obviously,
I don't know.
I was
don't
gonna
know who
say,
lives here.
obviously, we could do something about the people that are living here, we could, you know. Do some kind of information, but the ones that come from off island, we have no.
Yeah.
No recourse with it
No,
all.
but basically, the landowners in McCarty Cove, they're more than willing to give the permission,
Right.
except like my neighbor who is new. He's posted his property, no hunting. Because he's not there all the time. But he has a dog and he has a little boy,
Mhm.
Guess
Don't
what?
blame 'em. Yep.
you know, that's plus, there's no way you can really hunt his property. And be greater than 300 feet away from his
Mhm.
house,
Yeah,
so that's what, that's what it comes down to.
So you were gonna have.
Yeah, I think, I don't see a problem with the sign down there, at least on the homeowners association side, they've done what they can do,
right,
and, you know, I'm glad to hear him say, by permission, that's their prerogative,
Mhm.
that's better than just, well, we're posting the whole thing.
Most of them will give you the permission.
Right, I think it's just a matter of respecting the landowner, you know, I'm always in here saying, you know, they own that land, you know.
it's kind of like the wormers too, we have an issue with that too. You know,
And-
walking on, going on private property to get to the water.
Yeah, I see back, where is it, that S turn where the warmers always park. And I see that it gotten shut down to them, and then you see one using it, and I gotta tell you something about the warmers that I've discovered. Yeah, there's those that are kind of pig-headed or whatever, and they don't wanna be nice to people. But inside that group of warmers, there's some really nice guys.
Yeah,
I was having trouble getting my boat on my trailer one day, and a bunch of them came in with their boats at the same time, went beside mine, we're right here on the island. Next thing I know, one of them was hopping on my trailer and says, here, and helping me get off.
oh,
You know, it was a win-win situation, got me out of the way,
Yeah.
so they can do theirs.
you know, and it's the bad ones that ruin it for the good ones.
But they're
Always.
willing to help, they're
Yeah.
good people,
Yeah.
they're not the derelicts
No,
that people like to label them with.
yeah, right,
It's the same thing with the hunters, it only takes.
right,
just a couple.
exactly,
Couple
and it
times.
ruins it for the ones that are doing it the right way.
But if somebody comes knocking on your door and you have a face to face, you feel more comfortable too. If somebody just is,
You notice the vehicle, you notice the face,
Yep,
you notice
yep.
the name,
yeah,
and then if there's trouble down the road. Well, geez, his truck was parked right there the day that happened.
Yeah, if there's trouble, the game wardens are now on your side as a landowner.
Yep.
Without the permission, without the posting, you're kind of standing by yourself.
Yes, exactly,
You know,
Yeah,
if something goes
yeah.
wrong, meaning
It
you
makes
or
sense.
hit your house or whatever.
Yep.
It's just a way of doing it
as
right.
much as you can, yeah,
And,
yeah.
you know, like I say, I hate the idea of posting, but, it's become
Understandable.
necessary.
Kim,
Very,
comment?
very understandable.
I agree with Jim, I don't think there's a problem at all putting the sign at the end of the road.
Okay.
And then there's always that, indefensible piece where the game warden was talking to him and they go, oh, there's no signs. Well, you drove by one, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
even if they miss all the
So you-
signs on the trees.
Yeah.
There's the sign at the end of
Yep.
the road that make it big,
Yeah.
make it readable, and you're gonna have.
Put a game cam on that sign.
Pardon, I'm
I
sorry,
said, put a game cam on that sign.
yeah, well,
No, I'll
maybe a
smile
couple.
at you.
oh, that, yeah, you might lose a sign, you're right.
No,
No, we do
Oh.
those signs, yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
We don't know anything about that.
Well, it sounds like, we're ready to make a decision.
Yeah.
All right, I'd like to move that we allow McCarty Cove Association to put a no hunting without permission sign on the Shortwell Road, in corner of Main
yeah,
and
corner meeting.
Second.
onto,
One
all in
sign.
favor.
Aye.
And the only thing I'll add is it will conform to McCarty Cove signage size, which is, it's pretty small, actually, it's like maybe 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet, I can't remember the exact dimensions, but it's not very big. So, none of this.
Yeah,
big
yeah,
stuff.
well, it has to be big enough to be seen, so there's no
Yeah.
excuse to see
Yeah.
it too.
Last one,
Yeah.
so, too.
It's just, I've,
And another sign like, April loves to do.
Yeah.
No, no.
Yeah.
So I thought nothing will be negative.
All right,
Golden arches maybe.
All right, Dave,
thank you.
that wasn't so hard, was it?
No, you know, it's good to take part in the community a little bit more,
Yeah.
and, you know, it's just that, I guess. My wife is a retired teacher, Kim knows me, and that's the problem, Kim knows me. So, well, good, thank you, I don't want to interrupt your meeting anymore.
No.
than that.
Yeah.
that's what we're here for.
And you know what I appreciate, because I know Kim has brought up, and it is an issue, it was also in Facebook again about, you know, how do we get rid of some of the deer, which we have a huge population
I
of.
mean, I've seen
So-
more twins on.
Yeah, so
Everybody's
it's not a
doing it.
matter of not wanting to have it, it's a matter of having hunting, but with permission,
It's called.
and not just anybody in the world.
Responsible.
Yeah, we want it to be successful, and at
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
time, we wanna make sure everybody
Right.
is kept whole. Without the trespassing piece would be
Yeah.
good.
The one thing I will throw at you as a maybe down the road thing for the entire island. We have gained houses in McCarty Cove in the past 2 years, I think 5 or 6. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6, yeah, just between McCarty Cove and Sortland. What's happening is because of where driveways are, where houses are. And property lines, the property lines isn't the issue, it's the 300 feet. We're still hunting with rifles. And guess what? We're hunting with rifles that are good to a mile with
Mhm.
killing potential.
What?
Yes, we are.
The problem with that, Dave, is this has been brought up before in the past. We voted on it. It was voted shotguns and muzzle loaders only,
Yeah, they did.
and, oh yeah,
And then what happened?
and then the state says, you need to hire yourself somebody to enforce that.
Wait a minute, why wouldn't you be one come in?
Do it.
This is a town
Because
ordinance.
it's town. Oh, that's right, we've already been down that road 30 years.
Wow.
So our town ordinance says no rifles.
I don't think they passed it, it passed in the vote, but I think it was a moot point because you got no enforcement, you
Yeah.
can't have a law that you can't enforce. That nobody can enforce.
Because that's what we're seeing is the proximity of houses, like Jason hunts with a rifle, I hunt with a rifle. My daughter does too, but when we hunt, we set ourselves up so that when that bullet misses the deer, it goes into a hillside.
You
Yeah.
know the island, you know where you're hunting.
Exactly.
These guys come down, they come down, don't.
That's
Anyway, I don't
really
wanna keep-
scary.
that's-
That's really scary.
Yep,
Well, yeah, but you ain't gonna shoot a mile through that, you're gonna shoot
How
maybe
come
100 feet.
we have a code enforcement officer? Why would he just?
Because he's not a law enforcement officer.
He has to be able to carry a gun and arrest people, etc.
Cause
So-
we create like a crime? It's not a code?
Well, if you have the law that says thou shalt not hunt with rifle. And it's a law, yes, it's a crime, it's a I don't know what level, but it would be a crime to shoot, hunt with a rifle.
Wouldn't
If
be-
their law was in place.
We have a lot of laws in place, and if people violate them, it's a code violation, and we have a code enforcement officer because it's.
Yeah,
Town,
if we have a code, if our ordinance says no,
I don't think,
I mean, I understand it would be a tough one to enforce, and it's not anyone, but. I don't know if it's like impossible, you don't have to hire cops.
well, if you're gonna approach somebody that's carrying a loaded gun, I just assume even have it. Don't bring a knife, you don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
Well, our constables can be armed.
I didn't even know that, well, then again, who goes and looks at your codes, is that what's in place, whether it's.
I think that became a moot point, I think that was under advice of. The state of Maine and the
Yeah.
attorney.
So in the meantime, those of us that wanna keep ourselves safe, we do what we know is safe.
we hide in the house.
Yeah, you stay inside,
I'm sorry.
November, that,
Hard,
no
yeah.
more walks in November.
Well,
Yep.
It's, you know, it's like last November, I was hunting, I came out onto the road. And I just, whether I unloaded it or not, a lot of times when I cross Sortwell. There's my house right there, I can walk across and take care of my rifle over there. And there's Jack with his new son. 2 years old, maybe, year and a half, something like that. Trouble is, he's standing in the middle of the road and I'm walking up talking to Jack, how you doing? And it seemed like a conflict a little, it wasn't a conflict, but it just seemed, well, big hunter comes out of the woods with a gun. But anyway, we do all the, I know, just a couple others I know that hunt speed dog. He hides out the backside of his lot.
Ain't gonna go real far right now.
No.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I can hunt my yard every night.
You could hunt this parking lot, probably
Yeah.
now, right now.
I've seen my tracks.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Anyway.
Well, thank you, Dave.
Whatever you have to. So-
No, this is an important
It's
issue
timely.
and, yeah, every issue that comes up
I'm
is.
sorry I brought that up, Jim.
No,
And I think it's something down the road that eventually somehow the town and the state comes to some sort of agreement as to. Because off Cape Elizabeth, they have a no rifles, it's shotguns only. And there's other towns, like out on the islands, Sabine, for instance, I think it's archery only, stuff like that.
Wow.
one thing I do remember very distinctly from that town meeting was when Richard Morris stood up and said, I was shot with a rifle in the elbow. He says, if you vote this in, if the guy that shot me was using a shotgun, I would be dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It ain't just one bullet.
Yeah,
one piece.
How did he get a 50? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but how did he? Okay.
There's extremes.
Was it?
It was. In the woods hunting. And got shot in the elbow by another person who was not hunting with him. Oops. Shot right in the elbow. So, and with a rifle.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that everybody went, oh. Is, he says, you say it's okay to hunt with a muzzle loader. Does anybody here know how you unload a muzzle loader?
You have to pull the trigger.
You gotta pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And everybody, oh, like, you guys need to inform yourself before you come here and vote on this stuff.
But if somebody shoots into the woods within, closer to a house than they should be. And they use a shotgun and they use a rifle.
Shotgun, when you pull the trigger on a shotgun, unless you have a slug. You're shooting probably 9 pellets.
9 pellets, yeah.
When you shoot a rifle, you're shooting one.
Yeah.
It's just one that can go
Further,
further, if you're out
Yeah.
wide open, you can go further.
Yeah.
With the 9 pellets.
But a lot of guys do use slugs, and that slug is right around an ounce, and it's about as big as your thumb.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But there again, 100 yards out.
It's done, it's all done, it goes
Right,
into the ground.
right, that's my point.
I'm hiding out until January.
Still think rifle.
Well, it's always been a true sportsman knows what he's shooting at, knows what's behind him,
Yeah.
and
And that,
there's laws in place for proximity to dwellings and roads
Yep.
and whatnot. So it's-
There's nothing you can do to lawbreakers.
What if-
There's nothing, there's no,
Yes.
you've done all you can, like, them putting up the sign, you've done your due diligence.
Yep.
Try to keep everything as safe and on board and above board as you can. But if somebody's gonna break the law, they're gonna break the law.
Oh, I know.
You can't stop that, you
Yep.
know?
Anyway,
Yep.
I kind of came late to the party, sorry. What precipitated this? We talking guns or are we talking?
I could.
Here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here.
Well,
We're talking about posting a sign on the
Yeah.
Cardi Cove so that people would at least know that this is private land and you need to talk to the landowner.
And we approved it.
That's
okay,
okay.
so, yeah.
Anyway, I'll get out of here because you guys got other more important things.
Do you have 2 cents about deer?
We
Yeah.
had 4 car versus deer last
All right,
month
hey,
alone, and we had another one this weekend.
Yeah.
So, if anything I do,
And we're gonna have
Exactly.
more.
And, yeah,
And I almost got rear-ended last night, but I am a Cove resident because I stopped for 2 deer in the road. And he didn't think I should have stopped, and he came like right up onto me,
yeah,
and then honking his horn,
wow,
past me. So
that's just being.
I'm just, yeah,
That's-
I followed him, he stopped at his mailbox, I'm like, I'm really sorry if I inconvenienced you, but did you see the 2 deer standing in my lane?
Yeah.
There weren't any deer there, and you were going 0 miles an hour all the way up the
Oh
island. I'm like, well, actually, I was going 38, but
Yeah.
that aside, there were 2 deer in my lane standing in the road, so.
And
Sorry if I inconvenienced you.
yeah, yeah. And I mentioned
Yeah.
last week that somebody actually, pulled around and got out of the car and hollered at the individual who had 2 kids in the car.
Oh,
And but she had stopped because she saw
I
deer.
believe once you get out of the car and approach another one, that's called threatening. And-
Well, and she did call the
Yeah.
sheriff, but again, she didn't get the license
Yeah.
plate, so, she knew that was her
Yeah.
mistake.
Well, I guess we can't say it too many times, right?
Yeah.
Just,
Call the
yeah,
sheriff.
but
Yeah.
be mindful, there's,
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
I had another thought, which is call the sheriff.
And turkey, yeah.
Get the
I
plate
thought you
number,
were gonna
call the
say they were
sheriff.
well,
up
get
to
plate
10 or
numbers
something.
big time, yes.
Get the plate number, call the sheriff.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you.
Well, I was just gonna say, we're on citizens issues, I'm trying to keep to our, so, and you came in, so are you a citizen and do you have an issue you'd
I
like?
believe I am the citizen.
All right.
I have lots of issues, but this one pertains to, I think Jay Abbott had mentioned that he had talked to you about, no, he had mentioned that he had called the state biologist and said, hey, look, we got a deer problem, and their point was, so, but I don't know if it comes from the town, and maybe if we say, hey, look, we've got the documentation of over 12 car versus deer per year for the last 4 or 5 years, we've got a problem.
That's-
It is, and they can be anywhere from, I don't think you can have a car versus deer for under $500, but 2 of them last month, cars were wrecked. And one person said, I just got the car out of the shop, 2 weeks later, destroyed it, and.
No.
Yeah. Airbags went off and it just mutilated the front,
If
And
you
you
don't
know,
have
cars
insurance, you're up the creek, because there's no other driver to blame, you know?
yeah.
Yep,
That's
Yep.
about it.
And there was no, I mean, there was no doubt there was a deer, because,
So,
you
so
know, we had
what
to
do
dispatch the deer, but
what do you think there's the incidence of like not reporting it?
I know there's some, because every
Right,
now and then I drive.
so
"Oh,
should-
There's a dead deer.
Should we make a point that people
That's,
report it so that? I mean, I thought that if you had insurance and you hit a deer, you have to report it.
if people choose not to report it,
Yeah.
I don't know what.
No, I know.
Going on.
Yeah,
this is true.
This
but if you don't, if you have a high
Yeah.
deductible,
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go get it fixed myself.
Sometimes these big trucks might just, you know.
Oh, that, yeah, they're not gonna
Yeah. they're not
feel it,
gonna-
yeah.
But
I'm just thinking of statistics.
exactly, because I know I go along and,
And-
oh, there's a dead deer, and it's like, ooh, somebody tagged one that I
Yeah.
didn't hear about.
Yeah, and Kim, you had reached out, didn't you?
I did reach out, I talked to the state biologist for a good solid hour or more, and really got absolutely nowhere. On Vegan, they hired assassins, and he says, yeah, you know, just like every other coastal town with the same problems. And then he went on this long spiel about how, and I said, well, you know, we do have some hunting that goes on, but it clearly isn't taking care of the population. Then he told me how, in his opinion, deer hunters are lazy. you know, they won't go out when it's cold.
No.
And, oh, you know, they get a little shiver, they go back
Oh,
in, so
please.
we don't even consider deer hunting a population control anymore. So then I'm like, okay, well, now we've got all these people complaining about the thousands of dollars of landscaping that they're losing and the vegetables, and we have a farmer on the island who wants to move off of the island because he can't even grow crops anymore. And this guy is just like, well, you know, you'll have to petition to the commissioner, and then we might make some changes, and then it's like a 3-year process.
Yeah.
Like, he tells me all the no's, and he goes, oh, but you know, we are here to help.
Obviously, I got that feeling.
That-
Yeah.
That was essentially as far as I got with,
Yeah.
so, a couple weeks ago, I put out, is there any interest?
Right, that's
on
when
that?
I saw.
And I am getting people sending me photos and stories of, you know, the 7 deer that came in and decimated my garden, or here's 4 deer that are living in my front yard, and
Yeah.
I think all of that is collectively gonna be good evidence.
Why don't we hire some assassins?
I don't know.
we can do that, that takes special permission from the state. But
And that takes 3 years to get.
that's what I was.
Definitely.
Oh, you have to
Just have him come down in the evening, and when he whacks into a deer,
Yep,
and then he'll go, oh.
let him drive down the end of the island and back,
Yeah.
and if you can do it without,
Yeah.
without being hit.
Yeah, well,
Hit
I
it.
feel like I got enough response in a positive way from people.
Yeah, I mean,
There were a couple comments, I think we can invite the biologist to come here. And then that'll open the conversation with, so I can, for an example, if you look at the early archery season, everybody else around us has it and we don't. So, yeah, we could have archery hunting going on right now.
Why don't we?
I don't know why it wasn't included with all the other coastal
What does
islands.
it take to do that? Do you have to get
Have
the
to
state?
petition the commissioner, yeah, so, but it's a step, we can
Yeah,
take that step, you know? Clearly not gonna get it this year,
it's
but
not too
maybe
cold now either, so they wouldn't have the.
we could get it here again next year.
Yeah.
Could we like
Essentially-
incentivize hunting somehow? Like, so that we don't have to wait around for the commissioner is, I don't know how, but I'm just trying to think, like.
I thought we extended it 1 year, we did something where you could get like, not just 1 deer, but 2 or
I mean, you
something.
can do that now, but not in the expanded season is a month early. But you can get extra doe permits, like last year I could have 3 doe permits on top of my regular license. This year, it's not bucks only, anybody hunting can take a doe, they don't have
So
to.
we've already opened up
The opportunity is
Yeah.
there right now for people to get multiple deer,
The state has already done that,
yes.
not us. Is there anything a town can do that can? Not, I mean, we were just talking about how hunting can be a problem, but.
Right,
On the other
obviously we
hand-
need some.
yeah.
I think we could look at those 2 options, one is expanding the archery season a month early.
Yeah,
I don't know how many archery hunters we have on the island, what their success rate could be, but. You know, any little bit helps at this point.
Several yesterday.
And then the other one would be, all right, has it gotten to a problem? To a point where we can hire assassins to come in and call the herd?
I think that you'll find that's quite expensive.
Yeah.
well, I was
so.
thinking, could you just pay people per deer?
My brother, every time I
Private
talk to him,
yeah.
offers to do it for free.
Thanks for getting a deer, here's $50, would
Yeah.
that be cheaper than?
You can think that might be a good goal, but.
See, it was real good back
Yes.
in that
I
fair.
will. I will reach out again, I can let you, it's- again, even
That's
out there,
Frank
come here
McLaughlin,
to an
that's what I was
informational.
told.
Yeah, would be good, yep.
Time for lunch, game warden's waiting for you.
I think I would come.
And when he said that, Carlos. I'm-
Well, and even what Dave was talking about what you can do as a homeowner to not post no hunting, but post with permission. That kind of information would be helpful to get out, so I think if you can find out if he'd be willing to come.
So the pictures that I've taken a lot of pictures of particularly bucks, we have bucks on this island, some really nice racks.
Yeah.
And they look like little boys, you
Yeah.
know, they're like little tiny, you can see their ribs, they are not eating
No,
well
that's
here.
different, there's no.
They
There's
are
a
not,
couple big ones, though.
yeah,
There's some big ones. and
Really?
Jump.
Yeah.
So sometimes.
Somebody's getting food.
Yeah.
I think your problem, and I say it's your problem, it's all of ours, but I think your problem's gonna increase exponentially when the rut starts,
Oh, yeah.
because
They get done.
Yeah.
the male
Yeah.
deer just get dumb, and You know, they don't look both ways now when they cross the road, they don't even know that they're on the road. They don't, they don't,
Really isn't,
so
and a male animal.
unfortunately, I think it's gonna get worse.
If they're female, they're so pathetic,
And
Uh,
you start early.
Yep,
really sad, yeah.
is that what you wanted to discuss with us?
Sure.
Great. So Kim will pursue.
Yeah, and anything, if you need any data or anything like that, I'll be happy to have.
I think
it.
keeping track,
Yeah.
you know, will be good. Yeah, I counted 10 one day when I was down at the brewery and came up and there were 10.
And that's a good idea as well, is if we can get people that say, yes, it's, please hunt my land or allow it or something.
Maybe we could have like a map,
Yeah, could we do something like
you
that?
know,
Yeah.
I mean, we have
But
Countland.
everybody thinks-
Countland is, I would think, great for hunters, cause you have this
It is.
big, huge chunk of land that totally
It's
not
by per-
posted.
it's by permission.
Oh, it is by permission, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We
I
could
got permission for the
facilitate,
phone call.
yeah, we could facilitate that or
Okay.
something.
right, that's what I'm thinking, if we could facilitate it somehow, like with, like a list of.
Firstly, my eye.
Really clear that people should not walk. Cause yeah, cause I'm
This is not the sound.
even to walk down the main road, it's like.
Yeah.
That ridiculous.
We could ask property owners if they wanna like
Too little.
voluntarily.
There were some people,
Say
yeah, there was some
whether
people
they're-
on Facebook screaming about, "Oh, you could come to my property, there were people who want that.
That's just.
And then we could facilitate providing permission, maybe they will, you know, they'll say, I will allow 3 people to hunt my property and like you fill those slots and then, you know,
Yeah.
so maybe there's something we can do to make it
Yeah.
easier.
And I feel like these guys that come here and do it without permission, maybe if they knew it was so easy to get permission.
Yeah.
They'd consider it.
Right, I think like the Werners, there's some bitterness about the lack of access, historical access with the building, and I get it.
Scared.
There's 2 sides to the,
Oh, yeah.
to the story, but
Yeah.
if you're,
My only
depend on the land to make a living and people are buying it up and
Take
posting it, it's
pictures.
frustrating.
There was
Yeah,
9 right
exactly.
on yesterday afternoon.
Okay, continuing on. Did you have anything else? Okay. Next, I think is a simple thing, hopefully. Jeannie Laub had asked us a while back about putting one of our wooden boats at the pier, and I believe we had said yes. Anyway, so she put a little at the end of the pier. And after looking at it, she said, oh, you can't even see this. It is so small. Here's what a picture looks like. So instead, she built one that was 9 feet long,
Oh,
And
bright
red.
red. And she's gonna put Westport Island on it. And she asked, she wanted to confirm that it was okay to put it, you know, when you're going down, you're gonna launch your boat. And on the left-hand side is the crib there in that pier. She wants to put it right there, which I think is a perfect place for it, then everybody can see it. So I told her that I needed to get permission from the rest of the board before we could say yes. But I'd like to be able to say yes to her if that's okay with.
I second that.
All right, do I have,
Aye.
aye. All right, so I will
Let's get that in.
contact,
I think before you guys even said it, I saw her.
all right. Next issue we have, we've had some interesting conversations, and I feel like anything that comes to me as a select board member, any citizen that complains, and especially if I hear more than one complaint, that I would publicly share it, because I feel like that's why people come to us. And I think that these ladies do likewise. So one of the issues that has come up, is about 4-wheelers on town roads. They have been definitely on town roads. I have actually, gotten between one that was coming, a car was coming toward me, and here is a couple young kids on a 4-wheeler on one of the town roads. We've heard, yeah, recently I heard that there was also, they were going as far down as Swan Creek. So that's, you know, very curvy roads and also, more recently on the main road. So, we've done a little research. It does require not the sheriff, but the,
Game warden.
game warden. So, I'd like to ask what you two think about, the issue with, it's legal. It, to me, it's not just illegal, it is, the reason it's illegal is because
it's
kids,
dangerous.
the
It's
kids
dangerous.
are not. They're not old enough to know better.
Yeah.
That's why they don't drive they're not supposed to drive a car until they're at least 16 years of age, and then there are still restrictions. And to me, if you really want to take care of those kids, you make sure that they aren't doing things that they shouldn't be doing. So, thoughts on how to move forward with this issue since it's come up several times. Do we call the game warden?
We could call the game warden and see what, you know, what she suggests in terms of what she would need.
Yeah.
If somebody, you know, sees it happening, because obviously it's gonna be, they're gonna come and go, so how do you identify them?
Yep.
But,
There,
I, I think if we know the person that's doing this, we should be sending them a letter.
We need to send them a letter. It's a state law. We have state law enforcement officers that deal with it. Let them deal with it. I don't think that we need to say
I don't think
anything.
it would,
Yeah, but sometimes you can
difference.
kind of curb it, you know, say, hey, people are watching,
No,
yeah,
There's a massive.
because trying to catch them, you know,
right, that's the hard part, right?
Yeah.
And you call the game warden, they're like, well,
I
they're
mean,
not gonna be there when I get there, so what am I supposed to do? I mean, I think it's, I think.
Do we know all of the people, because I believe it's more than just, one? Do we know all that are, on town roads? To send a
I
letter?
certainly don't know all of the people that ride four wheelers on this island, but.
That's one of the challenges.
Where do you draw the line between a 70-year-old man on his four-wheeler that's registered, driving down the side of the road? Or kids, maybe with a four-wheeler that is registered and wearing helmets like they're supposed to when over 16, whatever. How do you differentiate between, or don't you?
Is that a game warden's decision?
How often does
Yeah,
that happen?
the old guy gets 300
Old
feet.
guy, yeah.
That's what the state law is. You get 300 feet. You can't drive your
You can go
four wheeler
from-
7 miles to the grocery store on the
Yeah,
main
no.
road.
Right,
Valid question, yeah,
just curious.
right,
I know
I
that
don't know,
older people on the island that like to go ride to the neighbor's house on their four-wheeler and it may be more than 300 feet. But, you know,
Is there any law against anything having to do with kids or like legal?
16, I do believe, in helmets and.
You have to be 16 years old to be on one by yourself, and you have to have helmets on if you're 16 or under.
and if adult is riding with a young kid on it, that kid needs to have a helmet too,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen some kids on 2-on-1 machine go by Gary's house one night. Evening, it wasn't like dark, it was. And there was 2 kids on it, one was wearing a helmet, one wasn't.
Yep. Yep, yeah, and we've gotten quite a few complaints and we're just,
I haven't
Well,
seen any road.
I also feel like it's the same thing with the tailgating and the speeding and everything else. If you can get a picture of some sort, you know, when it's happening, when you see it happen, because obviously when you see it happening, it's gonna be over. And nobody else can do anything about it.
Yeah, the thing is, I've never had good luck with that because, well, it's. Picture. You know,
It's gonna be a blurry picture.
we saw my pictures there, but.
so it sounds like we need to have a little bit of discussion around whether we send a letter, maybe drafting a letter. You wanna draft a letter that we could look at maybe on Wednesday, to see whether we would all agree to that. But it sounds like we're in agreement that we do need to contact the game warden.
Yes.
In either case. So I'd like to pursue that. Do you know the game warden or?
Yeah, I can call it, maybe we put in April's newsletter. A general
Right,
article.
well, that's,
yeah.
that's the other thing I was
Yeah.
thinking,
This
is
is the
that, you know,
concern, here's the laws,
right,
Yeah,
just know
Warden.
that, yeah.
right? That would take care
that's
of
coming out next
the
week.
warnings, so
Yeah,
to speak,
yeah.
or like,
Just-
you know, somebody's paying attention,
Right.
so.
Yep, yep, you've been warned.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have heard about damage, not necessarily to, the main road or whatever, but,
Well. Minor, I know it's a turn that gets taken a lot. I'm not gonna say where it's at. You see a little bit of that,
yep,
and there's another spot on another town road very handy that's the same. You can see where they, and I just know it's only because it's heavily traveled, they see.
Mhm.
I haven't seen them, you know, tearing anything up. Other than just, the only reason the road's like that is because I know they're constantly turning in there.
well, I had
Oh.
one, a month or so ago that I was going down, West Shore Road. Coming from Squam Creek. And there was one that came around the corner in the middle of the road, and fortunately, I was going really slow because I know as a driver that I need to watch corners, and there were two kids on a four-wheeler right in the middle of the road coming right at me.
I just feel like it's a matter of time.
Yep,
Well, it's major liability for the parents too, because if, you know, there's a car accident or something and. You know, kid gets hurt. They're traveling on a public way, it gets messy.
yeah. All right, so we will talk to the game warden. You'll talk to them, you'll put something in the newsletter.
Yeah.
And, if you wanna draft something, if we decide we wanna do that, we can talk about that further, but at least we have a couple steps to move forward with this one. Before I go to my next issue, since we had somebody just come in, did you have a citizens issue? We're still on citizens.
No,
You just want,
I was gonna address this, issue of potential, grant to, look at a solid waste.
yeah, it's, yeah,
Oh,
way down on my list here.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
I just wanted to be here if Kate comes in the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, next, on the citizens issue was, again, I got, two calls from people about, an issue that happened, this past week with, somebody getting bit by a dog at a, on town property. And because word gets out pretty quickly, I just want to acknowledge that, yes, we do know about it. But one of the reasons we thought about bringing it publicly is just because, there are laws about taking care of animals, especially dogs, and they should be on a leash, and in control. And the fact that it was on town property, and one of the individuals said to me, you need to be careful of lawsuits as a town, which made me a little bit nervous, and so I wanted to hear your thoughts, both of you, about this, and, on how do we deal with this kind of issue?
well, I mean, the thing is that many towns in Maine are dog friendly. So it's not like it's just us that has dogs on town property. So I don't think that's the issue. I'd be more than happy to call the dog warden.
Mhm.
And just see what he says about the situation.
Mhm.
It's definitely situational. I don't know
Mhm.
what the situation was with this bite, but it's obviously the owner, now that this dog has a record. That's a bigger issue.
Mhm.
But yes, leashed and under control is the thing.
So I
and
appreciate you calling.
Don't, yeah, so I'll give him a call and see
Your
what he
thoughts.
says about it.
My thoughts are that there are times when dogs just don't belong at events. And I love dogs, I had dogs for 32 years, I raised dogs, but there are times they should stay home. Like, and we have a lot of elderly people that could trip, get, hit by a dog that gets off leash and running. Yeah, it's just a danger and it's a hazard and there's really no good reason to have a dog at those events. That's my opinion.
I don't necessarily think most dogs even enjoy that kind of thing, to be honest.
They were looking for the leftover
It's-
hot dogs.
Stressful.
Yes.
Stressful.
It can be
Yeah,
for them,
Yeah,
yes.
so humans a lot of times think, oh, I've gotta take my dog because, I socialize them or they love it and it's good for them.
And
The
a lot of times
reality
they
is they're
don't.
probably not.
Right.
So there was a lovely band there and it played jazz. I don't know if any of you went, but it was a
Yeah.
really, really nice, band that, it had the trumpet and the tuba and,
So that's
so I can
loud.
imagine
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
dogs wouldn't have
Yeah.
necessarily
Who
appreciated.
arranged it? John Fleming is a real talented guy.
Yep,
I mean, I've been to several of his concerts, including he did the Christmas thing here. I don't know how much they had to pay him, but he's worth a lot more than he's getting paid.
yeah, I think somebody had an N there. But yeah, I mean, it was a great, but when you mentioned the noise and whatnot, it's like, yeah, there was music there and it was definitely a picnic. So you would expect food to be there, which is another reason maybe not to have the dogs there.
Well, I agree with you. It's, not everybody, likes or appreciates dogs, so it puts them out.
And there are people that are afraid of
Yeah.
dogs. Yep,
And I think you're absolutely right that there's a time and place and certain events should be, dog free.
When my kid was this high, I hated it when people brought dogs places because you just never know, it could bite a right in the face, and I'd knock them over.
No, you're right, you're right.
And now I don't mind as much because he's
The good
calm.
news on this particular case is both the person who owned the dog and the dog who was bitten, and fairly good friends. And they're willing to, nobody's gonna sue anybody. But
right.
I think the owner of the dog now realizes she has a problem. Because this isn't the first time the dog's bit somebody.
Which, yeah, and the person who got bit has a dog and so knows, so it's not like it was somebody who's afraid of a dog or something.
She's had complications from it too.
I know,
Yeah.
that's what makes it to me even worse. It's not just somebody got bit, but somebody is now sick from it. And that's not good. And again, it was a public place, a town place, even though it wasn't town sponsored, it was still, at the town hall. And just having the conversation with the individual made me realize that this is something that we need to talk about as a board. So that we're not at some point in time refused. So I'd appreciate it if you talk to the dog warden and then let's talk about this some more
Yeah,
to
because
figure out.
I think if we do something like that, we need the criteria for
Exactly,
what
yeah,
are we.
Service
allowed
dogs.
to have?
Well,
Yeah, to me, that's down the road.
It's notified, they probably require the dog be quarantined for some period of time. Which really inconveniences the dog owner, but maybe that's what's needed to, get the point across.
Yeah.
yeah,
So on the side of being a dog friendly town versus an unfriendly town, if we are a dog friendly town, we want people to walk their dogs on publicly owned lands and. All of that is great down at the ferry landing to take them swimming, that's all great, there's just certain times where. We've got a population of people around that the dogs don't
And
belong.
also the area that you're working in is not that big.
Correct,
The outside area of the
Right.
pool is not that big.
but the
Right.
longer it goes on as though the culture is, it's always dog friendly. Then there's just more and more people will say, oh, I'm gonna bring my dog, yeah, I'm gonna bring my dog. So, I kind of feel like maybe we should just
Yeah.
nip it in the bud before it gets out of control.
These outlets are too close together, so I can't plug this box in, so it'll go all the way in and actually charge. I'd have to unplug something in the outskirts, but that would be the owl or.
Did the,
so if you can unplug me, I've got enough.
No, I'm gonna unplug one of these items. But this is.
So I just wanna leave it as, Lisa's gonna talk to the dog warden.
Yep.
We'll talk further about this after you find out something, so just to decide if we need a policy or not, so about dogs.
What's your name?
Oh, I think that's just the dogs.
That is Donna's computer, and Donna's computer and this printer or computer, which I don't think anyone's using or has in the last 20 years. Oh, yeah, be okay.
So if you go to the
Yeah,
doctor.
looks like you have your own little subsidy.
All right, let's go to roads. I think that was the end of citizens issues that we've been hearing about recently. It's been a very busy couple of weeks. So roads.
Roads,
We'll talk about that.
we've started down on West Shore Road, Post Office Road intersection today.
Oh.
There's two culverts are gonna be changed. One right by Carroll's driveway,
Mhm.
which is not a problem. The other one is down towards Connie's.
Mhm.
And I say down towards Connie's. It's in that direction. It's probably 100 feet from where the hot top starts onto the hot top. There's a culvert there that needs to be changed. I think we ought to just tear that 100 feet of hot top up. Because when I put this culvert in, there's a steel one that there now that's rotted. And it's a 12 inch. Well, these are 12 inch in the plastic is like 15 inches on the outside. So it won't be deep enough, so I wanna build that section up, and you don't wanna build up over the old hot top, you want that going. When I say hot top, it's if you wanna call it that. So, and then we're hammering the ledge up around the corner to try, and we may put an under drain in, we may just ditch it. Or a little both. But we're trying to dry that up, that's the main thing, we've started that.
That's the mud pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I'm done hammering there, I wanna change that culvert. In case I gotta hammer some ledge up and get it deeper, that's why it's not as deep as it should be, I'm sure of it. I wanna take the hammer to Bay Shore Road
Yeah.
and get that piece on that corner at least. So there's some things in the works. There, Bay Shore Road, maybe a little bit on Post Office Road, time, I got it for a week. It just makes sense, yeah, this stuff is not breaking like the stuff up down the other end of the road, unfortunately. But it is breaking,
Okay,
So,
as long as it's breaking.
So you have it for a week and you're working it after regular work or during regular work?
that is where this week,
Okay.
cause you gotta dig it out, you gotta dig it out, so. And I may put fabric on that road and gravel, build it up a little bit. When we ever pave that section down past Coney's, that intersection is gonna be paved, it's gotta be.
Yep.
A little bit up towards Carroll's driveway, a little bit up towards the south. Because that corner, everybody takes that corner. And it's like, that's why I ain't griping about the four-wheelers, because I know how it is when you keep turning in the same spot, that corner gets the same way. Just from cars.
Yeah, but I don't spin my wheels when I go around
Nobody is.
it.
But I just think that would be the wise thing to do in the future when we pave that other section, is to pave just a little bit each way.
Yep. Might take care of that for the winter.
We're gonna take that section of hot top up. So I can change that color, like, that built up fairly substantial.
And when do you anticipate to be doing the culvert? Like, do we need to notify or post it or?
I've been talking to my person,
Tom's department over here.
Okay, so we're good on that.
she's been taking care of all that as usual. Texted her yesterday, there was very little traffic today. The road towards Coney's, the Upper West Shore Road, that might be closed for a half hour. When we do a culvert, it's only half hour of the road. And if a fire truck comes around the corner, we fill it back in in just 30 seconds. Cause I don't like to close the road completely down. Unless it makes more sense than doing a culvert, a small one. Now, if these guys come along, we can patch it in no time, get them through.
And they're so used to waiting now anyway between Route One,
Oh, yeah.
which took ever this morning, and then when I came home, Route One was beyond the exit. You know, anybody wanting to come out of 144 couldn't have even, unless somebody let them out, but, it was just, they're working on the road. There was no accident.
It was actually, they were working on power lines.
Yep,
But they kept the road to one lane. When DOT was working on it, they just moved the 2 lanes over and used the dip down lane.
yep, nope, they're down
40
one lane.
minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, it was bad.
And the line was just.
I waited 40 minutes, then it was only 500 feet of road that there was one
Exactly,
lane.
exactly, there is, it's a very small distance, so between that and the light on the,
It was not reasonable.
But
Like, you know, if you're gonna close a road, do a smaller section, something like, it's not, people shouldn't have to build in an hour of cushion to get to Bath.
yep,
Lisa, and that,
I was late for something today.
yeah, I was an hour and 20 minutes.
as long as they do,
Crazy.
I come up on that a week ago. And drove right around it. The line going the other way was from Shelter Institute. All the way past Ames Supply going south.
that's what it was today too.
But I drove up on it and oh, geez, if I rush it, they're gonna let me through. Sure enough. But I felt bad for everybody else because they ain't even, what a few of these guys go, a few of these guys go, they ain't even that.
No, even though the policeman was there was a policeman there that was looking at the traffic. But, you know, it's like you should let some cars go
Yeah.
either direction, but when I finally got through and I didn't have that long of a wait going home, but when I got ready to turn to 144, I couldn't even see the end of the line that was waiting to come down, so
Man.
anyway, so a few minutes,
sweat.
yeah, no sweat with the,
And they can go around.
yeah,
Right, exactly. They can
that's-
just go
that's
the other
mine.
way If they have to.
Very little traffic today, like I say, it was her mess, you know, I would say. Plus, we don't start stuff like that till like 7:30, 8 o'clock, time we get down there, you know,
Yeah.
because we wanna make sure everybody's out to work.
yep. And I just wanna publicly say that I drove down where you put the new, guardrails. And it looks so nice. It looks like, wow, this is not a Westport Island road.
Pretty stay in the,
Yeah, it was very impressive. Rails and, so great job.
Yeah.
All right, committee reports. Either of you two have anything to,
I do.
okay,
We've got Jason Putnam started on the town hall project today. And he feels like he's got enough time to get the front done, the ramp done, which will be all done before your voting day, April. And then he's also gonna help us by shoring up that north side. We're gonna shore it up, stabilize it, close it back
Just to
in.
buy us some time.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that
Okay, good,
we can,
good.
it'll get us through the winter.
Yeah,
So that's good.
good.
Tomorrow I'm meeting with Horch Roofing and James and Whitney to look at gutter installation. And we had talked about doing gutters in-house, which was the plan, but the gutter cost is $4,000 because 1,800 of that is shipping from Michigan
oh my gosh.
for this particular gutter that.
Yeah.
So I'm having these guys come tomorrow, and my real hope is, I didn't tell them this, but my real hope is they tell me that they get the same materials. And that they'll sell us the materials and we'll still do the job ourselves. That's my hope, but, or if they feel sorry for us and say, oh yeah, we could do that for pennies. Then we'll look at.
Yeah.
And
That's okay, you're exploring options, that's
Yeah.
good.
so that's that.
Any luck with, grants or anything with old buildings?
Nothing yet.
Tim, when you meet with them, could you take your old pickup? Help.
I see, it does it?
Keep the cost down.
Yeah, you want me to like go barefoot?
Yeah.
And from your mud on my face, you know? We just want to save the building.
We start your old truck.
All right, I'll take my old beater. What else? I don't know if you've noticed the town office is
It's
painted.
beautiful.
It looks
So
lovely.
nice.
Yeah.
You know,
You can see it from the road, like you can
Yeah.
literally, when you drive by, you can see it's just
The trim, it's the trim.
Right, it is, it is.
It's looking good, we still have the back to do, so I can't claim any like great shakes yet, but. A lot of volunteer time by our 2 volunteers that have done it all, so.
Ray and Chris.
Chris Malley and Ray,
Yeah, Weiler.
thank you, and so hopefully they'll be back this week. Ray had to go to Florida really soon. So we'll get that finished up, but, you know, my hope is, and I think it will be, we'll get that all done. And we'll get the landscaping done, at least get the gravel down, get the plastic down, get your loan brought in. And this building should be good,
I have a whole bunch of bulbs to plant that were donated, so, all the areas where, you know, no trees now, so I have tons of bulbs.
So we're gonna have to fence in the entire property to keep the deer out from eating the bulbs.
No, you know what, they don't like daffodils.
You think that,
Yeah, they don't like lots of things, they still.
okay? They've eaten mint, basil, peonies, you name it, they're eating it.
Because I had, in my yard, I have daffodils and tulips, and the tulips never seem to come up, they'll be side by side, and it's like, clearly. They ate the entire tulip, but,
I
not
think
that.
our deer eat everything.
You eat lobster first, and you eat the squash first.
I'm gonna point out too, that we have air conditioning,
Mhm.
and that is,
The temperature in here is awesome. We feel very spoiled. We come to this beautiful office with the trim all painted and our nice green doors. And it's like perfectly temperature controlled inside.
so.
It's a big
Yay.
difference.
Yeah,
The heat pumps are great.
thank you for
Yeah,
that,
so
Lisa.
it's just
Oh, yeah.
comfortable in here,
You
you
know,
know?
look at ACs.
It's not loud, the AC running.
Yeah, we still need to figure out what to do with those air conditioners.
Yeah, I'm gonna, well,
Let's give them away.
Yeah.
I'll put them on Facebook and get rid of them in a day.
yeah.
Well, we'll probably maybe save them and get rid of them next summer. I don't know.
5 minutes, we'll get rid of it.
Yeah.
That's all I've got.
Okay,
The buildings.
we'll go to, select board business.
God.
Commitment, I don't know, is this about somebody being committed or what?
Yeah,
you're gonna commit us.
We'll probably look
We're
after.
committed. I think you have it in there.
Yep.
You should have it in there.
Oh, in here.
Yes, 'cause we
Okay,
have to
oh,
sign
that's
it
right, we have
here.
to sign something.
I think so. I didn't have it. Ashley was gonna
Yeah.
give it to you or.
Yeah. She did, she told me she got us.
Is this it?
What was that first thing? Oh, that's the one, okay.
There's a whole bunch of places, we don't have to take up time signing it now, we can sign it. After meeting. But so I'll just throw some numbers out. Our total taxable valuation of real estate and personal property is $335,526,519. So our total valuation base, after you take away homestead and the Betty, is $340,179,377. Our mill rate is going to be 0.0085, so it's gone up 2 percentage points from last year. Last year was 0.0655, I think. So yes, it has gone up.
Still not double figures.
Yeah, our overlay wound up being 55,000, so that can't be more than 5% of the budget. And I think that is it for numbers. So you got, I sat with Ashley and went over these numbers. I've talked with Josh about this, so Ashley feels comfortable. She was finally able to get in touch with the auditors because she did have a question about putting the 200,000 from our excise tax where what goes into the right place. So she got that input from the auditors on Friday. So and Josh, our assessor, got these all done for us today, and we can sign them tonight. And Ashley's planning on sending out the tax bills this week. So
So look forward to it, folks.
do you guys have any questions?
Any questions? All right, I'm gonna jump down.
Wait, we gotta do a motion. To accept.
Oh.
the,
Or approve, I think.
I
Yes.
think we better, or Ashley would have our,
Um,
yeah.
yes. So basically, it says we hereby certify that the pages herein numbered from 1 to 43 inclusive contain a list and valuation of states real and personal liable to be taxed in this municipality of Westport Island for state, county, district, and municipal taxes for the fiscal year July 1, 25 to 6/30/26, as they existed on the first day of April 2025. So do I have a motion to accept the commitment as it's presented?
Do you wanna make a motion?
Yes. Did I say
Okay,
that?
I would second it.
I thought I said that, okay. All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye,
Aye, okay. You can sign this afterwards, because there's a bunch of places you have to sign it.
okay. All right, so I propose we jump down for Dick's sake, jump down to L for RFP for recycling. There was an RFP that came out, we just had, I think a very positive Conservation Commission meeting on Wednesday, and we have several new people on board, young people. So, and then we had a really nice presentation from Carol White on Thursday evening. But Kate had brought up, she had found an RFP. You wanna talk about that for a minute? I had read it also.
You know, specifically, the RFP was for a, with a town or a public implementing a program for, organic waste recycling in some effect, which means like
Like
composting.
compost. Yeah.
And the concern I had, and the reason I came was the, feedback I got was that we might try to implement our own composting facility here. And my concern is that we don't wanna get in that business. Because it's a huge liability, because of the chance of somebody bringing the wrong kind of stuff to the compost facility. And I,
That was my first thought when you said that.
yeah, and you get PFAS, and that's, and I know Casella. And the reason I found out about this is Casella does the solid waste for the town of Topsom and also Highland Green, so I know how that all works. And the thing about it is they will accept any kind of plastic.
And Casella actually made the news the other day because they had to close down a facility. I
Well,
think
that's what I said to the thing about,
yep.
is they had a thing up called Hawks Ridge.
Mhm.
And they've got a terrible problem with PFAS. And part of it is that they were accepting sewage sludge from all kinds of places, including Massachusetts,
Mhm.
and composting it and reselling it as fertilizer. So, I mean, we don't wanna get in that business. We don't wanna have our own composting facility that the town owns and let people bring their compost to it. That's what I was concerned about.
Well, I also looked at the RFP and one, there was a very short time frame for it. I think it's due the 17th or something like.
What is the RFP for?
It was for municipalities that were interested in, and I apologize for not sending it to you guys. It was a RFP for municipalities who wanted to maybe start their own program or build a program. I got the sense it wasn't just organic, although that was the major focus. But, you know,
What would the proposals be for? It's a
So there's
request-
several things we could propose.
you could
An
ask for
educational program.
barrels or, you know, you could.
Yeah, but that's not, isn't an RFP a request for proposals to offer you something? I don't, proposals for what?
So if, for example, if the town decided we wanted to put a bin up here to collect our own or organic waste, that we could submit a proposal and say that bin is gonna cost $10,000. We have to do 25% in kind. And so we'd like the money to do that.
That sounds like a grant.
It's a grant.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That's why
I'm sorry,
I'm
request
so
for proposals
confused.
for a grant. I'm sorry, that's terminology, but
Okay.
yeah.
And I
It's
sometimes
still-
think I'm just dense, but
Whatever it is main-based public-private entities to assist in the development, implementation, and improvement of organics management programs initiatives or activities designed to increase the diversion of these materials from solid waste disposal, including waste reduction activities. The problem is that if you're now putting your stuff, that our stuff is going to the dump. If we try to do it here. What I think we could do with this is to develop a educational program. Try to get a grant. for part of
That,
this,
I,
To provide everybody free composting bins
yeah,
and.
I like that
information on How to
idea.
use it,
yeah,
rather
I
than,
like that idea rather than the town sort
no, I
of.
don't think the town should be in the composting.
And that's actually one of the options that you,
Yeah.
if anything,
Right,
Okay, what about Lincoln, doesn't Lincoln County have a composting?
They do.
they do.
yeah,
Yes, it
this,
does.
this is sort of where, and for me, I don't feel like we've had time to talk about this. This, I was gonna present what Alma had talked about. And because I feel like that's the place to do it, is with the Conservation Commission.
Yeah,
And we didn't get to it, but I think Kate saw that and knew that that would be.
I gotcha, so she thought maybe we could.
Yeah, and she,
Use
it
this
just
in
happened
some
to
way.
come
Okay.
through.
Yeah. I mean, education, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Teaching people how to do it, providing whatever's.
I just don't feel like, because we only have now less than, or a week, that we have really the time to put a proposal together.
You know,
It's
the
a-
problem
it's a
is there's
grant
only
that's
6
due.
awards.
Yeah,
They
it's,
only range from 1,000 to 15,000 each.
right, it's not like,
15,000 might buy a whole lot of composting bins for people, but,
Yeah.
you know.
and
6
we have to
awards-
do 25% in kind.
It doesn't
on-
sound like it's timing wise,
Yeah,
it's.
I don't think we're
It's
ready.
something-
I don't think we're ready
something
yet.
is-
Yeah,
I think it's something we should,
Takes compost.
Right.
yeah, the,
They take compost,
Right.
right, was cast transfer.
Right.
Right.
They
right,
take it up to Lincoln County.
right,
So when you
Right.
go to the dump to drop off your trash.
yes, you can,
also-
You
yes.
can,
Yeah, we
you
don't-
can put it in the compost bin. But we could also investigate them coming here, and that's one of the things we had talked about last year. And, but we haven't talked
Right.
about it at all with the
Right.
Conservation
Right,
Commission, so I
right.
feel like
So,
at
okay.
this point in time, it's just a little bit too early. That,
Just set
that,
up some compost bins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna throw out at this point to remind everybody that we do not have a public works department.
yeah,
Right, and you
Well,
can't, you can't put those duties on the Conservation Commission and use
Right.
volunteers for it, that's
No,
not gonna
it-
happen.
no, if, we would have conversation about having Lincoln County come and do it. My understanding,
Is if you put, yeah, if you have, they'll bring their, whatever, their dumpsters or whatever they give you,
Yeah,
and then they'll come and pick them up.
yeah.
Yep.
But they're not gonna
Just-
maintain them in between, and they're not gonna take care of the critters that get into them, and they're not gonna take care of dead raccoons that get left in the dumpster and.
We did
Yeah.
do recycling cardboard and stuff years ago behind the fire station. And the problem is, if you don't have somebody there to monitor it,
People
You'll
just
have
junk,
a
garbage.
dumpster.
People just
It's
throw the
clean,
garbage.
recyclable
Yeah.
cardboard.
Yeah,
And then 6 bags of lobster shells on top of it.
right.
That somebody has to deal with.
Well, this is why it's conversations. This is why we talk about things,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is just early stages of
You can do it
ideas.
here.
Yeah.
If it's open, if you can reach them dumpsters, somebody has to be here.
Yeah,
Because it will become a dumping
yeah,
ground.
yeah, no, you're right.
So maybe more education that
yep,
it already exists.
The
We can put it at the
education
landfill we already use.
with like, yeah, but it's like the hunters. They all know what they're doing. They all know what they're doing.
Yeah, you're not.
They
gonna
do it
educate
anyway.
Someone to not be ignorant.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with the
Yeah.
dumpsters.
Right.
I do know a guy that just spent $1,700,
Why there's a lock on our dumpster
right,
right up there?
$1,700 to remove tires from the island. You can bet you'll find tires in your dumpsters too, with your cardboard,
mhm.
because anything you gotta pay to get rid of is what you find
Yes.
beside the road.
Right.
Well, I know Stacy has never, ever had an issue with people leaving anything other than recyclable bottles, so I know. that-
Clean and rinsed out even.
Right. Counted, sorted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that we need to have a lot of discussion around this, we had earlier years or whatever, but we haven't done anything recently. And so I feel like this is too early, and I'm more than willing to send a note to.
Yeah, I think we should pass
Okay.
this, but no.
Yeah, but I wanted to at least share it with the, board,
Okay.
and, but when I read it really
And
closely.
I appreciate Kate thinking of it
yeah.
and bringing it forward, you know. It's a good.
We're just not ready for it yet, and, because they talked about like building on some program you already have, or, you know, if we said something like we want a bench for everybody, it's like, if there's been no conversation, no education about it, it would be,
I know
Then
it's
put
one
his
of the
heart
main
for the
things,
worst.
is they have this specific place where everybody's got a combination to a gate. They know what it is, you can go in, and they have dumpsters for all of this different stuff, including all kinds of plastic. They have a place to put compost, and they do their own composting right in Island Green, the grounds people, because they own a couple of golf course. And they do all that, so, you know, they're a closed system, and they have about the same number of people there as we have here. But they have complete control over it, they have people whose job is to monitor this.
Exactly, exactly.
all right, next on our agenda, I will send Kate a note tomorrow. Winter sand, proposals for supplying, delivering and mixing sand.
Well, you guys are going to approve that, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Here.
So it's the same as last year's?
Basically,
That's the author.
well, he's the author, but last year we had. Sort of separated the big part.
Yes.
But give us different bids depending on what you're gonna do this year. Jim felt we could just ask for it all in one price.
Okay.
So we kind of just wanted to do everything.
So this is gonna go out, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You know, it's easy to get prices, for somebody to bring sand down here, but what's the point of getting the sand if we can't
Can't
mix
mix
it,
it.
pile it up?
Yep, yep.
So it should be
Yep.
the whole thing.
Yep, you're right.
Looking for probably 400 yards this year. Plus whatever we use for salt, 400 yards of sand.
What's your expectation on the increase for this year?
I don't think there'll be a huge increase.
Yeah.
Good.
No, I mean, you never know what somebody else is thinking,
Yeah.
sand's getting hard to find.
Yeah.
What we use. The sand now is garbage compared to what we used to use. But the stuff we used to use is in high demand, because that's
Really?
drainage sand.
All right, so I'd like to make a suggestion that we, approve this request for proposals for supplying, delivering and mixing winter sand. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so that will go out and it will be due back on October 6th. What's the deadline on that? We don't have to sign anything on this. No, we just have.
Maybe I could ask people to send it to people.
I believe so. We made a list last year. I'll check it if I don't, for any reason, I'll let you know.
But it goes in the paper as well.
It goes in the paper, the bulletin boards, all over the place, but people don't really see it unless you email it to them, so we'll do that too.
I'm going out of order for a second only because these are where they are. We met last week to, look at a seasonal ramp and float hearing on Willis Point Road, by, Meg Wilson. And, Kim and I were there, and, I'd like to move that we accept the minutes of that meeting. Do I have a second?
Staying there, little barrel.
Yep, so you're not invited.
I'm not enough.
All right, get around.
All right, so Kim seconded that. Did you guys vote to accept?
Yeah.
it?
Nice, yeah.
Hey, Jeremy, we aren't there yet.
Okay.
So. We accepted the minutes,
Wait.
so, also.
Yes. Did we?
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Okay.
And then 2-0, I abstained.
And you're abstaining,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep. It was in the back of our minds. Based on that and based on the fact that, the planning board was also there, which normally we should not have meetings at the same time. We should have met earlier. But, we know better next time. I like to motion that we accept a license for them to to go ahead with their application. And, so I'd like to move that we
Second.
authorize a license. All in favor? All right,
Okay, Lisa, you're not abstaining from that one?
no,
Okay.
because she could sign her name to that,
Okay,
she just couldn't do the
and
minutes.
it does now, okay, so in the past, when I've scheduled these, it's been everybody together. The different us?
Well, we should have two different meetings, and I thought ours was at 6. And so it's only been this year where we've had both the planning board and the select board.
But you have to send
No,
out
but-
letters to abutters and all.
Yeah,
kinds of
right,
stuff.
right.
So when I've done it in the past, the planning board's been there, but we do our spiel and then, yeah,
All right, I'll look into the process.
planning board.
I don't wanna
does
have to
theirs.
do 2 sets of hearings, 2 sets.
No, but if you said
No,
one
but you
starts,
just have to
if you
do
say it
separate
starts at
by
6
something.
o'clock,
I see.
if you started at
6:30,
6, then we can have
6:30
ours at
something?
6, they can have theirs at 6:15.
I see,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Cause it
So
doesn't
you
take
put
long.
the notice.
Actually, Gary came in and mentioned it as well, and I know that was the first time that seemed like everybody was there, and
All at
on the
once.
minutes I put it, but it seemed crazy that we're having a meeting at the same time somebody else is having a meeting.
And the same subject at the same place.
Yeah. All right, next is DEP. Conditional approval of ending ordinance. This is yours.
This is my baby. So, we did a ton of amendments to the building code and shoreline zoning ordinance at the last town meeting. And whenever we amend the shoreline zoning ordinance, you need to send it to the DEP for them to rubber stamp it. So, there was one minor error in, the table of land uses, that is my fault. Because I was trying to make the building code and the shoreline zoning ordinances match, but the shoreline zoning ordinance is stricter than the building code ordinance, so something that works there didn't work there. So they're giving us a conditional approval, which we've had many times before, and it just means we're gonna put this little addendum on your ordinance, and then next time you have town meeting, you fix it. So we'll amend it at next June to make it just right, but then we'll probably make some other amendments that'll make it wrong in other ways and go from there.
So do we have to do anything with this, or are you just acknowledging that?
I need you guys to accept the conditional
Yeah.
approval.
All right, so I'd like to move that we accept this conditional, ordinance, this amended shoreline zoning ordinance from,
From DEP.
DEP. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, special town meeting warrant.
Oh boy, here we go. All right, so, well, this is kind of your thing, more than my thing, but. We're gonna have a special town meeting, so we're planning, because.
Well, this came about, should I tell the whole story?
You take it away.
This came about because somebody expressed an interest in becoming a deputy CEO. And under the circumstances that we have now, we felt that it would be beneficial to just have another body to kind of a fallback in case, because you know, when you only have one people, things happen, and anyway, and this person was interested. So when we
And we have the rebound coming up.
Yeah, we come to find out that we can have a deputy CEO if it's been approved at a town meeting. And April went back in the records and can find no record of the town approving having a deputy CEO. So we said, well, just to make things legit, at the very least should get approval for the one that we currently have. And then we're going to include this other person that's interested. As Donna just said, the other reason we were thinking about having another pair of eyes is because once we do the revow, there's probably gonna be a lot of cleanup work with people who haven't been permitted and did work that, you know, wasn't permitted, and getting all of that kind of up and organized. So having another, you know, pair of eyes on the situation. So that's why we're having this special town meeting. We didn't feel that waiting a whole other year when we have it sort of not quite on the up and up as it is, so that's our thinking for the special town meeting.
So I will read the article that you guys will be voting on the 17th. Put it on your calendar now.
Excuse me, is the plumbing inspector still the code enforcement? He's got two jobs.
Yes. And we've checked that, and that is the case in many towns, and MMA says that's fine.
It's tough to find them, just in general. So basically, when you have somebody interested in it, you're like, jump on it, you never know, things happen. People pass away, people move,
It could,
people quit. You know,
Yeah, single point of failure is what it's called.
Exactly. There you
it
go.
could be,
I like
if we have another code enforcement officer, it could be that they
Deputy.
sort of share the work. So if you're gonna check out this new house for the building permit, we'll ask one of the other code enforcement officers to look at it for the plumbing. Just that would be
Specifically, we're talking about the septic system, which was biggest concern when it has with building a new dwelling, and
Yep,
Right,
I think that's gonna be a big job.
yep.
yeah.
So the person was interested in being a deputy CEO. I don't know if they're interested in being a deputy plumbing inspector, but they
Right.
don't need, meeting permission for some reason.
For
For deputy plumbing
Plumbing?
inspectors.
Right.
Only deputy CEOs, it's the
That's so
only
weird.
place where the law is unclear. Yeah,
And if we lost our plumbing inspector, the state would assign one.
yeah.
So
We'd rather,
we can always fall back on that, knowing that,
Okay.
the
That's
state will assign one for
Yeah.
any town that doesn't, or isn't.
and
capable.
knowing somebody came to us unsolicited and just said they were interested, and it was like, okay, yeah, we're not gonna say no. Anybody who's interested in doing anything,
Does he like to paint?
no.
So this won't have anything to do with how this person will be paid. All that will have to be in June on the warrant, but it will allow them to appoint the person so that they can at least start the trainings. Cause it takes a while to get
Yeah.
certified.
Yeah.
So they probably will be here until the next June town meeting to get certified in the first place.
Okay, you wanna read the article?
See if the town will establish the office of deputy code enforcement officer and authorize the select board to appoint up to 2 deputy CEOs for terms of 1 year as they deem necessary. The select board may determine each deputy CEO's specific responsibilities and work hours, may supervise each deputy CEO's work, and remove a deputy CEO from office for cause and after notice and hearing. The authority and duties of the deputy CEO shall be determined by the select board and shall include assisting the CEO in the performance of his or her duties as directed by the CEO, administering and enforcing Westport Island land use ordinances, the main shoreland zoning law, and any other ordinance or law that the CEO is authorized to administer or enforce. The authority granted under this article shall remain in force from year to year unless revised or rescinded by the town meeting.
This was written by MMA, by the way.
That's a run-on
That's why-
sentence.
I know, that's why.
Here we are.
Not our fault. I guess this position is special because CEO is thoroughly described in the law, so you don't need an article that's so like flowery. But they said because deputy CEO is not described anywhere in the law, it's really important. She preferred we write an ordinance, but I was like, can we just please have a warrant article just for now? So she's like, fine, I'll write it for you. But yeah, it has to be very.
So I'd like to move that we accept this article as written and get ready to have it voted on.
Yeah, you're approving the warrant.
Approving the warrant. Oh, it's the whole warrant, not just the
Right.
article.
The town will approve, hopefully, maybe the article.
Yeah, okay.
Second,
Thank you. All in favor?
aye.
Aye. All right,
So I will get that posted with Constable Buddy.
next,
Got stuff tonight.
yeah.
I got lasagna waiting for me.
Oh, yay.
Oh,
You know,
come to your
pause on
house.
The
Removing
town hall, pause on the rental of the town hall. You wanna talk about that, April?
Well. Yeah,
You want me to talk about it?
Yeah.
So we had decided that at this particular point in time, the fact that we don't have any water at the town hall for one issue. It's being worked on, second issue. We've got plumbing issues inside, we have some electrical work that needs to be done, although that's not really a driving force behind this decision, but. We just feel it's in the best interest of the building and of us and of the contractor working there that. For at least a short time, we just take a pause and not. Rent out the town hall, because we have guests, they're getting in and around all of what's going on
Yes.
there, it's not really.
Nice if it needs to happen.
He's working on the ramp in the front door, so.
Yeah, getting the well tested, I have not done anything with that yet, but I do think that it's probably a prudent thing to move forward and get the old. Drilled well tested and see if the water maybe over the last however many years it's been, actually has cleaned up.
Yeah.
And if we could potentially switch it back to using that drilled well, we're all the better for it. The question we come up with is like, well, what if it tests, but it's not potable?
Potable,
Drinkable.
yeah. Is
Potable.
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 I thought you said portable.
Oh, no. Potable. If it's not potable, we might need some portable.
Right,
So,
yeah.
so that's a decision. We'll make that decision at the time, because if that does come out, like, is it perfectly fine for flushing the toilets? Is it
Right.
perfectly fine for washing the floor?
Yeah.
Washing the dishes.
Then we'll have to decide.
Well, that's.
Yeah.
Do we wanna then supply drinking water?
So the water from the current well isn't potable. The well we have
Well,
now.
yeah, and my question is too, is that one, now that we've had some rain, is that one usable now? It was,
Probably not.
I would guess-
We really haven't had that much rain.
Not
They're
now.
both
got almost an
We
inch.
should probably use the drilled well, because that would be more dependable.
yeah,
What
So,
was wrong with the water in the drilled well?
So I wasn't around, but my understanding was that there was infiltration by heating oil that had drained out of the foundation tank that was in the foundation, and the drilled well is 10 feet away from the back wall where the oil tank was on the inside. So it.
but this was quite a few years ago, so
Yeah, it's
hopefully,
worth drilling in a well if it's not good.
Well, I don't know, because you drill a new well, you take
How
the
far-
chance,
Well, you gotta get further away from the building.
yeah.
Hopefully.
one more thing to add to the list of expenses for the, correct,
Well, I think-
yeah,
I think-
yeah. Yeah,
You know,
So-
a place like that without potable water is not worth much.
I agree with you. At this point in time, though, with the long list of things that are problematic there, drilling a new well is probably not the highest on the list, but it definitely is. You know, reasonable to think about, but it also is reasonable to test.
maybe it's there.
Maybe it's gone out now and it's perfectly fine, but.
I know we have a WCA meeting tomorrow, so, and they're probably gonna ask about, in December, whether you think it'll be usable. Is there something I can tell?
Yeah, that would be the big NO.
Okay,
No, I don't think it would be usable. Might I be wrong? I might be wrong, but I would not anticipate that it'll be ready for
Okay.
December use.
okay. Yeah, I know there's so many things wrong with it and, but we are meeting tomorrow night and, you know, there'll be a discussion about what are we doing next. I know for Halloween, generally they've been doing a trunk or treat, so that can be done outside. It's been done outside before, but the next thing that I was remembering was, something in December for the holiday.
remind them that they still need to rent it, even if they're just using the outside. The WCA,
What's that again?
remind the WCA that they
Yeah.
still need to rent
Rent it,
even if they're just using the outside.
Yeah.
I don't know, we're gonna have to think about porta potties, I guess, and
So didn't they do the, trunk or treat at the ferry landing?
they could also do it here.
They could do it here.
Like, we
Right.
do parking lot rental, so maybe. Just wanna make sure we have the right insurances to cover things, so. I think
well,
about it.
especially after the dog issue makes all the more reason to say we have to have insurance for anybody who's using it.
Cause you can rent the parking at the town hall, so if they wanna do a trunk or treat and keep it to the parking. Then that's like a different. It's actually, well, there's a lot of ins and outs, it's more expensive because we didn't set a parking rate, that's usually something the inn is doing.
I don't think that's a great appropriate place for trunk or treat because of the road.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
here's great, ferry landing's
Very
moderately better.
Yeah.
But the town halls are not great,
Yeah,
well,
kids and stars.
maybe we can suggest here.
Yeah, is that a possibility that maybe just give them a nudge toward?
I can ask, I have no influence, but I can certainly, ask.
Yeah.
And if I tell them that the town hall isn't available, then that may, I don't.
I find that hard to believe.
On some things, I have no.
So the
influence.
December, it's not just it's not the concert, the choir concert in the church.
No,
They-
no, it
they
has
put
nothing to do
on-
with that.
Okay.
It's. We have a little band generally there that does their thing for free, but we have different tables where people can make ornaments or.
Oh, it's like a Christmas fair.
Yeah, but it's not a Christmas fair because we're trying to include.
It's a holiday fair.
Exactly, exactly. And it's not really a fair. It's just like I always do
Bird feeder.
the bird feeder with
Yeah.
the peanut butter and it gets too warm and all the peanut butter drips, but, you know, just homemade ornaments to put outside for the birds or the deer. But anyway, we'll talk about it tomorrow and I just wanted to know what,
Deer like peanut butter.
I wish you well.
yeah, okay. I know somebody else that you can influence. The strike and replace fee schedule policy,
Oh, yes.
April.
So we have a fee schedule policy. It's mentioned in all of our ordinances, and it's this very important document. That we are supposed to have, and it's supposed to be, you know, very up to date and all that. Well, it hasn't been changed in, I don't know how many years. Definitely not since I've been here. Doesn't include all the fees that we have. It doesn't include. Several things that the select board is supposed to determine. I've been going through our site plan ordinance and our building code ordinance, and there's all kinds of places that say fees set by the select board and the fee schedule. So I just went through and every single place that said to do that. I added it to the fee schedule policy, and everything that was on the old one is still on there, and we didn't change the numbers or anything. But then we did add some new things that weren't on there yet, it just picked ballpark numbers that weren't too far off the ones we already have. So this could be revised at any time by the select board, but we thought it would be good to just get something better on the books that then people can critique and we can come back to.
So for example, there were the building permits and, you know, that's pretty standard, how much per square foot or whatever. But that was about it. It was something about subdivisions, which most of us won't deal with. And variance or appeals, but that was it. So, but there are many other things such as, for driveway, for tree removal, for building, wharfs and piers, ramps and floats. Building, subdivision, variance, pipelines, town hall rental, community room reservation, parking rental, table and chair rental. And then there's state fees that we have no control over, such as dog licensing, mooring permits, shellfish licenses, and vital records, all of those cost. And
We put the state stuff on there because, well, the fee schedule is only things the select board, the fee schedule policy, our fees the select board. Chooses, we thought this is gonna be up on bulletin boards and on the website, we wanted to be like a useful document.
Informational.
yeah,
So these are just
I think people would
things
really
on the
appreciate it.
Residents too.
Yeah.
Right.
So that you can look in one place and be like, here's everything
And we called out the state items as being
separate.
separate,
Yes.
yes.
So when you get your first complaint about these fees, I just want you to, for perspective purposes. A friend of mine is building in Massachusetts, there's an electrical fee to put the electro stuff in the homes. $25 per outlet
wow.
fee to be,
Wow.
yep, for the electrical inspector to come and inspect.
Wow.
$25 an outlet.
Per outlet.
Anyway, when people wanna complain about our,
Yeah, and
$10
like I
for this.
So we didn't change any numbers,
No.
this is still the old thing, just in a better format with more things.
Thank you for
included.
doing it.
So we might just add that electrical there.
We should do that.
Good idea there. All right, so, I'd like to move that we accept this new,
Strike the old.
fee schedule, that we strike the old and accept the new. Do I have a second?
I'm just gonna clarify, she said, it's not new fees, it's just a new piece of paper.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, with
Just
lot
a
more
new
fees
list.
column,
Okay,
yeah,
I
yeah.
second it then.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the rental policy, we're almost done. April?
Yeah, so this
Town rental,
came out of conversations with the select board, and we've had a lot of requests to use the community room lately. And some of them, we weren't quite sure. A little gray area, should we not? So we really wanted to clarify that the community room is supposed to be available to residents. The person who donated it said that to newspapers and in public at the time they donated it, so we wanna honor that. But at the same time, what if someone wants to like reserve it exclusively for their own thing, or reserve it to make money, or, you know, those were the kind of things we're not as sure about. So we amended the policy, to say that it's available for public events that aren't for profit. So that, yes, you can reserve this for your event, but it needs to be open to the public, so you do not want other residents to not be able to use it while you're using it, because that kind of goes against the spirit of the donation.
It should be community events.
Right, yeah,
For community,
Yeah.
yeah, not like somebody's private
yeah.
bridal shower or
Right,
something.
so a good example is Kenny Stires went on this trip to South America and he rented it to show a slideshow, but everyone was invited.
Right.
Wasn't
Which
just
is-
his buddies,
which is
it was everybody.
Perfect example of what
Yeah.
it could be used.
It was a
for.
great use. We have Marina Fairfield who reserves it to help people with computer stuff, and anyone could come into those and sit down and talk to her.
Right,
So that's because some people have been requesting and we had some situations before we weren't sure what to do. We just wanted to make it clear and put it in a policy. So that's what we did.
So I'd like to make a motion that we accept this new town policy. town
Amended.
property- Yeah, amended, the
Town-
town property rental policy. See, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right,
We're getting close.
yes, and the last on the list, unless somebody brings something else up, is the October meeting and workshop schedule. Are we already looking at October? Oh my gosh.
Well, the 22nd is our next.
Well, the LCN wants to know your next month's schedule by like mid this month.
Okay.
So that's why it's always on here, nice and
So-
early.
I thought it was just
Six?
you that wanted to know.
No, it's not just me being nosy, it's the LCN.
So it's the
Sixth
sixth,
and the 20th?
Yes, cause you guys are meeting the 22nd, not the 29th.
And the 20th, so I'm gonna be out of town the 15th to the 21st,
Okay,
so I'll miss the 20th.
we'll miss you.
Nah, he probably really won't, but. So,
That's every Wednesday.
so we have September 17th special town meeting, September 22nd regular select board meeting, October 6th and October 20th select boards.
This, the warrant meeting, special meeting is gonna be here? Or
Town hall.
Town hall?
Town
I think so. You know, that's a great question. I don't know, I think my standard warrant template says town hall, so I think we're stuck with it, we probably should do it at the town hall, that's what I assume.
I don't think we have a choice,
Yeah.
if we want a crowd, not
That's a
that there'll
week
be a
from now.
crowd, but this does
Well,
not allow for a
The
crowd.
warrant you just approved should say the location on it, and I'm pretty sure it says town hall because that's probably template.
Yeah.
You
Can
know,
we do it outside of the town hall if there's no front door or ramp?
I forgot about
We
Is
did
that
it
water
outside before, we actually did it outside.
Smack in the middle of the construction.
the situation
Um,
of that.
We
Okay,
can
When
go
we-
in the back door,
yeah,
just use the big
well,
one.
it's not great.
But it's nothing, no, there's nothing about it that's great.
And this meeting, we don't need us, I'm just asking for the public, April, we don't need a quorum of a certain amount of people.
No, no quorum required for this issue.
Town hall,
Town
So-
hall.
yeah.
How about if we do this? I'll have 10 5-gallon pails of water available, so only 10 people can pee or poo. We'll use the back door to get in. And if we have anybody that is handicapped, we will, give them.
That or you could cross out all the right
Piggyback,
office.
it's a piggyback ride.
I remember when we had, we were asking for funds to do the whole island, the communication stuff. And we had a meeting and it was during COVID. And so we all went outside between the two buildings, between the town hall and the church. and we actually, somebody had marked it off so that we were 6 feet apart. And we had more people at that than we have at most of our other meetings. It was one item. And,
Was it about spending
Chris
money?
was there,
Is that
yes,
why?
yes, we had
So this
we
is-
had to spend about, I don't know, $80,000.
Okay, so that's a big deal,
Say
you know,
nothing
but
then.
this
But,
is,
but still,
people
it
can
took
look at this
5
and go,
minutes.
yeah.
So, but the point is, we could do it outside
Okay.
if it doesn't, if it's not raining.
We got a couple
Lots
of
of big,
tents if we need to.
Yep. I just feel like that's what I wanted
This
to
is
do,
what-
it's an option, is that we can.
so are you, but you're afraid that you're gonna have so many people and that's why you wanna have it there? We could,
I mean, because we always have it there, it's like tradition, and so people are gonna expect it to be there. I mean, you guys haven't signed this yet, you voted to approve it, I think we'd probably be on safe ground if you wanted to, like, you could literally cross it out and write office. And we could have it here instead, which is ADA accessible and has a functioning bathroom. I would be a little bit worried that there would be a sudden interest in this and
We could have the door open if there's a big crowd and just talk from,
yeah,
you know,
doubt it.
it's for one warrant.
We could do it in the salt and sand shed if the weather's bad.
There you go.
that's legal, so I don't know. This
What
is why I
happened?
love not being on the select board, it's up to you guys.
Yeah, what happened with the porta potty, the ADA porta potty, did that go back?
We switched it out for a
You did?
contractor,
Okay,
which
yeah.
is $150 for the whole month. as
So,
opposed to
so you
$225
do
for the
have
week.
a bathroom there,
Sort of,
right?
it's a contractor porta potty. But
What, does it have a seat or what?
for the-
It's for
meeting.
one
For
article,
this lady,
It's
this
5
meeting, it's gonna
minutes.
be like 5 seconds.
5 minutes.
So we could probably do it there and just,
And if a ramp is in place, we'll use it. If it's not in place, we'll go in the back door.
I think having it at the town hall is where we need to have it, just because,
Cause it'll be fun.
because people are used to it. I'm worried about the ADA thing, because there's no ADA bathroom and there's no ADA ramp. We could re-rent the ADA bathroom for $225. Or we could just have it here, which is ADA accessible.
We've rented the ADA toilet twice now.
I know,
We have yet to have an ADA person need it.
I know.
it's just,
But-
it's more her, didn't you say somebody, some organization or something,
Yeah, they're
like
looking
slapped
at
our
state
hands?
elections, they're not gonna care about the town meeting.
No, I know that, but yeah, it just made me remember that.
Right,
that,
Disability
you know,
Rights Spain has been doing inspections and they did report us,
Yeah,
and I was able to say, we're having a ramp put in.
yeah, see,
So-
yeah,
Yeah, that's
So,
good, but in this occasion, I'd be more concerned about a resident not being able to participate. That's what I'd be concerned about.
I know, but I seriously doubt it.
If somebody in a
And I
wheelchair
really don't
comes,
think-
we'll move the meeting outside.
All right, how are we publicizing this? Let's back up a second. I don't need to beat a dead horse here. How are we letting people know about this meeting,
So the warrant is the legal way,
right?
so you guys are gonna sign this, that's important, you should do that tonight, actually.
Mhm.
Maybe before we adjourn even, because it's a big deal.
yeah, we have some other things. to
And then
sign.
I will have Buddy, our constable, post it on the bulletin boards, where it's traditionally posted.
Right,
And that like covers our butts legally, but of course, I'm gonna put it in the newsletter.
right.
It'll go on the website, it'll go on the site.
And on the menu at Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay, okay, so there's
It'll be all over the place.
plenty of notice for it.
Yes,
But it's happening in
So-
2 weeks.
so we
Yeah.
could, I mean, I feel like this might be a pain in the butt for Jason to. The contractor to have it at the town hall, so you have to move a bunch of stuff, he's probably gonna quit, like. The siding coming in and out of the building,
He might, yeah.
so
I don't,
I'm leaning towards having it here, but what do you guys think?
well, I'd
I
offer,
think it's not controversial,
It's,
and because
Exactly.
we're not proposing to change the tax rate.
Right,
Like
it's,
that, or
yeah.
anything we could implement.
exactly. Most people are gonna go, well, sure,
Why
why not?
going to a single assessor was not gonna be controversial, and it was packed, and it was controversial. So you just never know what people are gonna get riled about.
I actually think that this could be controversial.
I'd offer up the firehouse. I
Mhm.
mean, I can pull the vehicles out. We do it in bay 4 and 5, that's the biggest space I've got. The only thing is I don't have bathrooms on the first floor,
Right,
Yeah. But I mean, I could pull 2
But it's
trucks
gonna
out
be
to get
so
to
quick.
Ridge.
No.
That's what I would hope.
Yeah,
Well, they could always come
Let's do
here
it
for
here.
a bathroom.
We have electricity, air conditioning, bathrooms, parking.
Yeah.
If we get too crowded, we
Well,
step outside and do
yeah,
it.
and there's overflow parking over there if need be, and people can walk through and.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always that, so.
I feel like, yeah, cause we don't know where Jason's gonna be in
We
that.
don't, and
It could be a total mess and it could be a big
Yeah,
burden on him
yeah.
to clean up, so.
I
didn't
know,
think
full
about
of
it.
cars there, you're right, he could have, no.
So here.
we
here
have
you
a
go.
microphone that we could just open the door, because all people have to do is hear the article.
Yeah.
And they'll have copies of it,
Right,
Yeah.
do you have one of
and we
those?
need to count the vote.
Yeah.
All
Yes, it's
right.
on my list.
It'd be fun, we could give them light sticks. Green ones or, green ones or red ones. Hold up your green light stick.
Instead of, I like those for the
that.
town meetings instead of the cards.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That would be.
Star Wars.
Yep.
Okay, so there you go, it's not pretty.
Okay, so we have some other things to sign as well. So, other than that, are there any other items or announcements that need to be dealt with today?
No, I think we've touched on quite a lot
We
tonight.
are.
All right, and we all have our assignments. So I'd like to make a motion that we
Do we-
adjourn for the
Can we
evening.
sign these first before we adjourn?
I think
Sign the warrant.
Yeah.
Okay, sign the warrant.
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming.
Yes, thank you.
And it sounded like, since it wasn't important, that you were not planning to come, right, Dick?
Well, I wasn't sure what was gonna become of that, but.
Well, I think people that want to have it, that it makes perfect sense, ought to show up. That would be my take on it. You wanna
I think most people
Uh,
have a.
shut down
One way
the,
or the other.
did you
Say
already?
goodnight to Charlotte.
Yeah, but you have to.
You have to adjourn.
Oh, I didn't. Oh,
No,
you told me I couldn't.
Yeah.
Now I'd like to make another motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Hi,
Aye.
it's a clown show.
What's the second?
Kim second.
Kimson.
I seconded,
And, oh, yeah,
don't hold it against me.
this goes.
Okay, now I will.
Right,
Lots of pages to sign on this puppy.
Yeah,